That day was just like any other ordinary day. I never expected that a single moment would change the course of my life forever. I was driving home after a long day at work. It was raining heavily, and the road was extremely slippery. Suddenly, I lost control of the car and slid violently toward the edge of the road. At that moment, all sounds around me stopped, and I felt as if time had stopped. What happened next was something that cannot be described in words, but I will try to convey it to you as I experienced it. I found myself outside my body, floating somewhere between heaven and earth. I was not feeling any pain. On the contrary, I felt a comfort and serenity I had never known before. I saw myself from above, my body lying on the ground, the car crushed beside me, but I was not afraid. I was in a state of deep peace. Then I began to see strange things, almost like a dream, but more vivid than any I'd ever experienced. I saw a luminous tunnel, and the light emanated from it was warm and reassuring. I felt myself being pushed toward this tunnel, as if some invisible force was drawing me in. The closer I got, the more peaceful it became, and I began to hear beautiful sounds, like musical notes I'd never heard before. At the end of the tunnel, I saw people I knew, some of whom had died years ago. They were smiling at me, as if they had been waiting for me. I tried to approach them, but something held me back. I heard a voice saying, "It's not your time yet. You have to go back." I felt strangely sad because I didn't want to go back. But at the same time, I knew I had a mission I had yet to finish. Suddenly, I came back to my body, feeling intense pain spreading everywhere. I opened my eyes to find myself in the hospital, surrounded by doctors and nurses working diligently to save my life. That experience was a turning point in my life, making me see the world differently. I was no longer afraid of death, knowing it wasn't the end, but rather a gateway to something bigger and deeper. Since that day, I've tried to live every moment with love and gratitude. I've learned that life is a precious gift and that every day is an opportunity to make a difference. My near-death experience wasn't just a terrifying incident. It was a profound spiritual lesson that made me realize that there is another world waiting for us, one filled with peace and love. This is not just my story, but the story of many who have gone through similar experiences. Each one of them came back with a different wisdom, but they all agree on one thing: life after death is real, and it is more beautiful than we can imagine. Are we ready to face this other world when our time comes? Are we living our lives well enough to feel content when we reach that gate? These questions have haunted me ever since that day, and I hope they leave as much of an impression on you as they did on me.